that was my second time in my life going to India. The first time was in February when I worked for an energy company called E.ON. That's the largest energy utility in Europe, and I was heading the Nordic operation. And I have to say this country and people is overwhelming. I have to say, I'm born up in the northern part of Sweden, where it's more elks, reindeers and bears and wolves than there are people. Where we have kilometers to the closest neighbor, and during the winter we had 1.5 to 2 meters snow and -40 degrees. Then you can imagine how it is to come to a country like India, where you have a lot of people. In a way, you seem to cope with each other. That is very friendly, and you bear with each other. And I feel extremely warm feeling when I'm coming to your wonderful country. And basically, I believe that Sweden and India, even though we are far away from each other, and we are country-wise, in number of square kilometers, an extremely large country, the same size as France, but they have just 9 million people. We are also a huge country, but you have 1/6 of the world population. But basically, the two nations have as I see, a lot of common. Sweden, who have during the Cold War been a neutral country, a small country squeezed between two superpowers, trying to be independent, doing things, I will not say on our own, because if you have 9 million people in a world of now 6 billion, of course you can't do things of your own, but at least we have a view of that it's important that each and every nation is have the possibility to be independent and make up their own thoughts without any big nations setting their agenda for us. And I'm having the same feeling that you are aiming in the same direction, or have done that for many years. Sweden have been lucky not been involved in any war since 1814, when we adopted a king from the Napoleon army. But he was so tired of having been to war, so he decided that he would stay outside, and it's still his family who's the king of Sweden. So before the Second World War, when SAAB was founded on the 2nd of April 1937, during a time when we relied on our close friends supplying with defense material if something should happen. The thing was, when something happened, everyone would like to have their own defense material. So they were not possible to supply to Sweden. And there we were, nearly no arms, because it was a decision in Sweden that the war, you couldn't have another great war after the First World War. We are probably blue eyes and stupid people up there. But my chairman, his grandfather, Marcus Wallenberg, who is the main owner also of SAAB today, his grandfather shake hand with our Prime Minister and say, we will build the aircraft for Sweden. Today we have built 6,000 aircraft. During the Cold War we had the 3rd largest air force in the world. We are recognized, and it's our own technology, and we have built the knowledge within the country, and not just the aviation, we also built radars. Today we are world leading in many aspects in the radar technology. We are world leading in sensors, missiles, and we have a system unit that integrate the Air Force, the Navy, and the ground forces in joint systems that is also very recognized, C4I and other things, and a support division. A very healthy company. And the company who had gone through a huge transformation after the Cold War. So I'm humble in the way. We have been now 30 years, or have been involved in supplying to India for 30 years. We have a strong belief still in the company that our products, it's a way when we are selling them, it's important for the nation who buys them, and it's used to of course be able to defend the nation that bought them. And we hope that we can contribute to the development of India and your independence. And that's basically what we try to state as well. And another thing, we have an open technology that we would like to share, and then I mean the full technology, not just part of it, that you end up with some bytes that you don't really know how they are put together. So, but we say all full-fledged technology, what we have learned from well, since 1937, and what's in the Gripen, or if we deliver something else, we are fully open to that. And some of our material today is produced in India, some of the ammunition to the call yourself. And we have our signature management, that we are world leading on camouflage and things like that. I think we have 60% of the market in the world. It's also some of that are produced here in India. And if we are able to contribute to your nation, we will like to do that. In the end of the day, it's your nation's choice. We will not come with an agenda, we will come with good products. I think that's my main statement. I don't know how you would like to do these things. Is it questions?
Yes,
or,
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I think before Ahmed just made that, let me introduce Lena Olving. She's the Chief Operating Officer of the group. Jan Widerström, he's the head of the Asia Pacific region. And we have Joanna Svedlander, in-country director for Gripen, posted now and lives in India now. So, first of all, thank you very much for coming here. We actually have an opportunity to have Mr. Buske here. He's on his second trip. So the first trip was a very rushed trip. So we took this opportunity to interact, have an interactive session with all of you. I think you started. That way?
Whichever way.
Okay.
Please.
A very fundamental question. What all ideally you would want to change here in India in terms of rules and regulations for you to do better business in the defense field here?
Yes, first of all, we maybe don't start with that. Having in mind from the very beginning when we enter into a market, we are not the one coming to tell you which rules or regulations you should change to buy our products. So we have already, during the present circumstances, we are willing to go forward as it is. A reflection, though, is of course that foreign companies being present here, then we just have, I think, 26%.
Sorry?
I think in the defense industry you can have 26%.
So how much it should be?
Basically, I think it's something that we have coped with already. I think it's good if it could be more, and I know it's also possible that it could be more in certain areas, especially when it comes to system development, other things. And today, if you take an aircraft or a missile, that is the biggest content, basically. But the production of the unit are if I may say, restricted to 26%. We can live with that. It's probably for one reason.
So what is the ideal that you would want?
No, I say it's. I mean, the world is not so defined that the world is.
Unless you will not say it and we won't write it, it won't come your way.
No, but you have to understand the way we are coming from. I don't like to say this is the number. We have already said we are willing to do business.
So you are happy with this 26%?
Yes, if it's more, it's fine. Okay. But it's not a thing that we feel is blocking us.
Okay. What are the other issues that ideally you would want they should modify?
I think what is I think the question for me is a little bit odd regarding we telling you what you need to modify so we can do business. I see it in a totally different way. India has a lot of knowledge. India is a great market, an important market for Sweden. And we are willing to contribute with things that we know and in cooperations. And we think it's a good basic ground in India to develop things. So we don't come with a set of things that you need to change for we do business here in India. I think it's basically an open market. We can team up with different partners, and we are looking.
So you're happy with the present situation?
Yes, I mean, we otherwise we hadn't come here. I think, and then I mean, you can go to Sweden, which country, whatever, and there are always restrictions, isn't it? And that's how things is done, and we believe that we can make it happen with the regulations that you have. So if then it changes more into a more favorable situation when it comes to ownerships, that's fine. But that's not the precondition for us discussing transfer technology and things. We have taken that decision that full transfer of technology should be done during the present circumstances. So there are no note in our offer.
How do you really do a transfer of technology when there is a 26% cap and you have spent a lot of money on that technology?
Yes.
So how do you bring that technology? Is it cost effective? I mean, it doesn't really make business sense.
Yeah, it will make business sense because it's a little bit different how you see things. If you are sitting at home in a small country like Sweden, being developing things since 1937, and are not willing to share things, you probably don't do any business.